Well, we got to talk about Justin Herbert. We got to talk about the Chargers. Listen, I made a whole video already talking about the fourth down situation. I've already made a video talking about kind of the Jaguars offense, how they were able to make their adjustments and end up, performing a lot better in the second half, winning that way. But I want to make a video on Justin Herbert as well, and kind of just I thought he played well in this one. It wasn't his fault that they lost. I think he deserves some credit in this game, even though, unfortunately, he's going to be known for being on the wrong end of a big come-from-behind victory. It's actually kind of the perfect Justin Herbert ending in a way of just kind of yet another situation where he plays well, but his team just didn't have the help to get him to victory. So yeah, let's just get into it. So let's start off with this play. It's going to be a man coverage play, a cover one play. And, one of the interesting things about this situation, I think, is we were sort of talking about before the game, the Chargers, if they're going to win this game, it's going to have to be the guys other than Keenan Allen. They can put extra attention on Keenan Allen. Mike Williams is now out, as that was massively talked about. It's going to kind of be those secondary guys that are going to have to come through. And this is, a guy who we don't usually expect to see have a huge impact. This is Trey McKitty, who is Pro Football Focus's lowest rated tight end this season, but he's going to do a good job on this play. Watch him right when this play begins. You're going to see that he does get himself a little bit of separation. There's a window to make this throw, and the other aspect is just for Justin Herbert, just when you see a throw that can be made, making the throw and putting it in the window he has to put it into. Watch him with a really accurate throw. Definitely Herbert is on, and other guys coming through, guys finding ways to get open, and as long as you can get receivers open, doesn't matter what the name on the back of the jersey is, getting receivers open is obviously key. Like stuff like this is a great example of, I talked about what guys other than Keenan Allen have to get open. The reason for that is because Keenan Allen gets extra attention. But one way you can take that away is by something like this, which is scheming Keenan Allen open a little bit, giving him a situation to where he doesn't have to beat two guys or three guys to get open. He can just run his route as long as you have two setup routes. His route is the one I've circled in white at the end, but you have a setup route on either side of him to hopefully widen the gap in coverage and allow him to get open on this 3rd down and 11. Watch as when Herbert takes the snap, he's going to look downfield, and you do see that there is a pretty sizable window right here. This is a good play call, and it's schemed up very well by the Chargers. Herbert hits Allen. Allen picks up more yards after the catch because he's very good at that, because he's Keenan Allen. So being able to, do that combination of stuff is definitely good. And again, you want to get the ball in your best player's hands, but it is worth noting, and it's nice that they didn't have to get the ball in their best player's hands to move the ball down the field. And by best player, I'm talking, best weapon. Like this next play, Josh Palmer, he had a really good game the first time these two teams played. Well, hey, he's going to make a play here on a cover one blitz. That's the coverage that the Chargers are in. You see, Palmer's route. That's the one on the outside, and watch what happens. Herbert takes the snap. He is going to look over, and you see right here, there is a window for Herbert to make this play, but it's a tough window. This is not an easy window to make this play because, again, corners move quickly. It's the NFL. Guys can make great plays on the ball. So if you're going to get it there, you got to get it there in a hurry, but that's where the big arm of Herbert comes in. Watch this, just really good throw. He does get it there in a hurry, and they're able to pick up a 1st down. So again, things like that. It's the simple stuff that they were doing, but doing the simple stuff well is always going to be impactful, especially when the opposing team keeps giving you the football. That's what makes things easy. And also something like this, like, Gerald Everett having a, big impact. This is another guy who, again, maybe not the superstar player you hear get talked about a lot, but has had a nice little career and is having a nice season as well for the Chargers. And it's once again a non-Keenan Allen player being able to come through in a big way, where this is a 3rd down and goal right here. So again, these 3rd down situations, this is usually where Herbert really thrives, and this is going to be, it's also where Everett can thrive at times and what he's going to do here. Watch how when this play begins, you see how he gets the inside leverage. Is this going to get a touchdown? You can't say. You don't know. You have to kind of take a chance, throw it to him, and let your player do the rest of the work if you're Justin Herbert here. But that's going to be exactly what Herbert does, and they are able to pick up a touchdown. So again, it's just good fundamental football, right? It's the simple stuff, but when you do the simple stuff, the more difficult stuff can, follow, and that becomes easier, and that becomes more simple stuff. First, you got to be able to do this stuff, and Herbert was definitely doing it. We then saw the Chargers offense kind of stall a little bit. We saw the Jaguars be able to stop them, and I think part of what they were able to do in stopping them was just cover well. Kind of what I talked about, this first half of this video, all about, these secondary receivers coming through, winning their one-on-one matchups. Well, that stopped at a certain point. I mean, again, they still had a field goal drive on this drive, but the reason why it was just a field goal drive and not a touchdown was on a play like this, it's 3rd down and 11, and watch what happens, where it's going to be a cover 1 blitz. So, 5 one-on-one matchups across the board. You do have a safety deep, so if any deep route over the middle, there will be safety help. But other than that, the other 5 guys are rushing the passer. That's how this coverage play is going to go. Watch as when Herbert takes the snap, he looks down the field, and I've circled every eligible receiver. What's open in a way that could get the first down? Really nothing. So I can totally understand why they decide to, why Herbert doesn't want to make a throw here. Herbert instead just tosses this one out of bounds, which is, probably the smart play there, but it just goes to show that, the offense not quite working the way it was working very early on in this game. And again, the big reason they got up by so much was all those turnovers, but the offense was also taking advantage of those turnovers, but then kind of both things drying up a little bit at once. This one was another one where it's like, even as the game feels like it's slipping away from the Chargers, Herbert is doing everything he can to make sure that that does not happen, even with using his legs, who, that's a part of his game, is being able to, be mobile. A lot of times it's more so with him being able to throw off balance and looking downfield and all that stuff, but sometimes with regular scrambles as well. This one is a cover 2 man. It's a 3rd down and 9, and so, with the cover 2 man, what's interesting about it is that it's going to be difficult to throw the ball and get a first down, right? I mean, basically, if you're throwing the ball 10 yards down the field, you're probably throwing into double coverage to some degree. There will be safety help around that area, so it's really hard to throw the football in this situation. But one thing that you could do is run the ball well, as there's nobody covering the middle of the field. The only people that can really make a tackle on Herbert would be the defensive linemen, as 5 players are going to have their backs turned towards the quarterback, and 2 of them are safeties who are deep. So you only have the other 4 guys that could really, tackle Herbert if he decides to scramble. And look at how, when this play begins, watch the offensive line. I mean, just such a great job by them to get Herbert enough time to, he looks downfield, doesn't love what he sees, but now he can get outside the pocket and he can scramble. And this is where just the athleticism of Herbert comes in. Watch him be able to just go off, and he is going to end up picking up that first down. So again, they ended up missing the field goal on this, so all it really did was help get more time off the clock, which obviously still helps them in this spot. But, it's good stuff to really, I think, try to delay the comeback as much as possible. That's what Herbert is doing here, with just, again, Herbert showing why he is an incredible quarterback. So yeah, I mean, again, just disappointing, right? If you're a Chargers fan, this has got to be devastating. Thrilling if you're a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, obviously. A great game, and as a neutral fan, it was a lot of fun. But I do feel bad for Herbert. I thought that he played well enough to win, but hey, it's the NFL. It's a team game. It's not just one guy. But that was my thought on him and how he performed. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.